Welcome to Letter to the Youth, where the past speaks and the future listens. Legends lived it, we pass it on. They remember my dream, but they forget my fear. I was born Martin Luther King Jr., January 5th, 10th, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. As a child, I went to school with books in my hands, but segregation sat in a classroom beside me. I learned early that the world was divided not by ability, but by hatred dressed up as law. Growing up in that madness forces you to mature fast. You learn when to stay quiet, when to look down, when to swallow anger just to get home safe. I knew, even as a boy, that something was deeply wrong. At home, my father taught me dignity. My mother taught me calm. Faith shaped my backbone. But outside those walls, pressure never rested. As I got older, I chose to speak, and the consequences followed immediately. I was arrested over 29 times. I was jailed in Montgomery for leading a bus boycott, arrested in Albany, Georgia, for challenging segregation laws, thrown into a Birmingham jail in 1963, placed in solitary confinement simply for organizing peaceful protests. That cell was cold. The walls were silent, and that's where I wrote words the world still reads today. The letter from Birmingham jail wasn't written from comfort, it was written from chains. It was my response to those who told me to wait, but justice delayed is justice denied. Nonviolence was never passive. It required restraint when retaliation felt easier. Through all of this, I was not alone. My wife, Coretta Scott King, lived a life history rarely tells fully. While I marched, she waited. While I was jailed, she raised our children. While threats poured in, she answered the phone. Our home was bombed while she was inside, holding our child. Imagine loving someone whose work makes them a target. Coretta carried fear quietly, but her strength was unshakable. She was my partner in sacrifice.
That peoples everywhere can have 3 meals a day for their bodies, education and culture for their minds, and dignity, equality, and freedom for their spirits. I believe that what self-centered men have torn down, men other-centered can build up.
The FBI watched me constantly. My phone calls were tapped, my movements tracked. The pressure wasn't just public, it was psychological. I encountered Malcolm X, and history tried to pit us against each other. I understood him. His anger came from being unheard for too long. Where our methods differed, our goal was the same: dignity for Black people. People quote my words, "I have a dream." But that speech wasn't poetry for applause. On August 28, 1963, I stood before 250,000 people at the Lincoln Memorial. I was calling America to account. This nation wrote a promise of freedom. My dream wasn't comfort, it was responsibility.
I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
By 1968, the threats intensified. I was in Memphis, Tennessee, standing with sanitation workers demanding dignity. I was exhausted. Friends warned me. Coretta feared the worst. But injustice doesn't wait for rest. On April 4th, 1968, I stood on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel. At 6:01 p.m., a bullet struck me. I was rushed to St. Joseph's Hospital. I was 39 years old. I wasn't killed for a dream. I was killed for challenging power with discipline, unity, and persistence. To the youth listening now, growing up in chaos doesn't mean you must become it. Anger is understandable, but discipline is unstoppable. Protect your voice. Stand for something bigger than fear, and never believe your life is small. I was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, yes, yes.
And this is my letter to the youth.
Good discussion on many matters. And, of course, these are not things that we would discuss here. But we do have common problems and common concerns. And above all, as Muhammad Ali has just said, we are all victims of the same system of oppression. And even though we may have different religious beliefs, this does not at all bring about a difference in terms of our concerns.
Do you share the same? One more question.
Yeah. This is more than a story. This is a letter to the youth. This a letter to the youth from the ones who survived, from the pages of the past where the brave stayed alive. They stumbled, they fell, but they stood every time. Turned scars into wisdom, turned pain into shine. Not fairy tales, nah, this real life proof. Every legend was once just a kid with a truth. Same fear in their chest, same weight on their back. Only difference is they refuse to go back. Letter to the youth, yeah, we passing the flame. Knowledge in the ink, hope written in names. If the world tried to break and said you wouldn't make it through, read the stories that remind you this was written for you. Letter to the youth, every word got a cause. From the rise and the fall, from the wins to the loss. We don't glorify pain, we promote the climb. Passing lessons through generations and time. This for the youth, feeling lost in the noise. Every dream interrupted, every unheard voice. History ain't distant, it's closer than you think. Same battles, new faces, same pen, same ink. They didn't have shortcuts, just make the mistakes. Now their stories are maps, so you don't lose your way. If you question your power, let the past be the proof. Everything you need is already in you. This ain't about worshiping legends. It's about learning from them. This is a letter to the youth. Yeah.